Jeck here, Superintendent of Fauquier County Public Schools, with another edition of One Hard Question. This week's question comes from Barbara, and it is about Blackboard. The question is as follows. It's a long question, so I'm going to paraphrase a bit. While I love the concept of Blackboard and the information I can glean into the day-to-day of my children's academics, I am continually frustrated by the multiple layouts available to be used in each school and in each classroom for reporting. Why must it be so random? Can there not be a standard for entering information so each classroom in the school is the same? I find it frustrating having multiple layouts and not knowing for sure which items are being counted in the current 9 weeks grades, if any items are missing for that grading period, etc. It appears that each teacher is free to choose which options work for them. Should reporting not be standard? I want to encourage my students to do their best work. I want to be able to review with them what has been reported. I want them to take control of their success and failures in school. It's an excellent point, by the way. It would sure be a lot easier if it was all reported in the same way. Thank you, Barbara. Yes, this is an issue that we've been made aware of on a variety of different times and by a variety of different folks. And yes, we see it as something that we need to get to ultimately, but it's going to require training. And just to give you some background information, when we instituted Blackboard, it was new. It replaced Angel, which was sort of a different platform for student information. We provided something like 950 or so different various training opportunities for teachers just to train them to be able to interact with Blackboard, to enter information, etc., etc. So that was a couple of years back, and since then we've taken steps to improve the quality of Blackboard and include more information and hopefully more easily accessible information. But the fact of the matter is we're just not there yet. Now what you're referencing here, of course, is grading. And I guess that seems to be the biggest area of concern amongst some of the parents I've talked to, is the difficulty in, as you mentioned, navigating from school to school, class to class, and figuring out grades because folks are doing different things. And no, that's not ideal. And as much as I hate to make excuses, we're working in this direction to make it more standard, more standardized. There are roadblocks, and the biggest roadblock is the training piece. And the excuse part I would make is, as far as technology is concerned, our technology staff, we are woefully understaffed in the technology area. And while for many people Blackboard and navigating Blackboard and entering and manipulating information in Blackboard is easy, for some people it's very difficult and it's very intimidating, and so therefore they need that practice, that training. The second thing I would mention is we are always sort of struggling with the top-down versus circular, way of management. And for example, a couple years ago, we told teachers, we gave a deadline, you will have your Blackboard page up and running with the sort of minimum requirements, minimum expectations within Blackboard. We gave a deadline, you will be there. And some teachers, did much more than was required, and some teachers did just what was the minimum expectation. So that's something we're constantly dealing with. And I guess the struggle we have recently has been, okay, well, so what's the next thing that we're going to be very top-down in regards to? And when I'm talking about Blackboard specifically, what is the next thing we're going to be really top-down and just in terms of laying out the expectation and what must be done? And a good candidate for this is clearly grading. So I hear you. I've heard this question, and it's something that I'm very interested in standardizing. The other thing I would mention just quickly is we are investigating an upgrade to our app, and I shared this with SSC recently, the School Support Council group. An upgrade to our app whereby on your phone, on your handheld, you can actually, get into the app, the FCPS app, and it will include links directly to the Blackboard page or your child's page at whichever school. If you have multiple students in our school system, whichever school they attend. Very streamlined, very straightforward, not necessarily real cheap, but something that we think is important enough to invest in to get at just what you mentioned in your question. So that's kind of a long answer to a very good question, but your question has not fallen on deaf ears. This is something we have discussed. It is a point of frustration for a lot of people, but I'll also say in saying that we've also made great progress with Blackboard compared to where we were a year or even 2 years ago. So hope this has been helpful to you. Keep the good questions coming. Thank you.